Plaintiff Marlene Furr is suing her sister for an unpaid catering bill. Marlene claims the defendant caused her daughter to get fired because she refused to pay her bill from their family reunion, so Marlene was forced to do so. Defendant Carolyn Rousey claims Marlene is just bitter and angry and always has been. Carolyn insists she did collect money at the family reunion, but it's not her fault that everyone did not contribute.
Remain standing. The Honorable Judge Jeanine Pirro presiding. Please be seated.
All right, the plaintiff is suing her sister for an unpaid catering bill and a parking fee. Marlene, state your case, please.
Let me tell you a little bit about my sister, Carolyn. She's a scam artist. 3 divorces. She has been married 3 times and divorced and moved in with my father and dad, our father and mother. She scammed our dad to take out a loan on an already paid house. She pocketed the money. We don't know what happened to the money. The family don't know what happened to the money. Our dad didn't even know what was going on. He was on the onset of Alzheimer's.
You know what happened to the money?
What happened to the money?
The money went on the house to remodel it.
So it was an equity loan.
It was an equity loan for the house.
What remodeling? What did you do?
We did the porch. We took down the swimming pool. We did the inside of the house.
Why didn't you drive by the house and see if she did the porch and the pool
when my dad was alive.
Did you visit your dad?
Yeah.
She's living with him. She would know what needs to be done.
She lived with him, but I have, in his last days, I was the one that they called to come up and take care of him.
How long before he died did you take out this home equity loan?
Maybe a year or 2.
He was sick. He was really sick.
He was, Your Honor,
sure
he was not
sick.
really that sick.
He was, Carolyn.
Still working. Every day he went to work until they made him retire.
Okay. You know what? My sister...
Have you two been like this your whole life?
No.
No, we haven't, but she didn't grow up with me, Your Honor.
She didn't?
No.
She was older than I was.
Oh, yeah, much older than she is.
A lot older than I was.
And a lot smarter. Okay?
How long has your dad been dead?
My dad died in 94.
It's 2009. Fast forward.
Yeah. It's been a long time.
Okay. Well, she was given a family reunion. She was in charge of the family reunion.
Is this like contemporary history we're talking about now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Current. It was a family reunion. I didn't want to have nothing to do with it. Okay. I didn't want to have anything.
Do you have this every year?
No, every couple of years.
2 years.
Every 2 years. Okay, every 2 years.
Carolyn, did she ever come?
She didn't even want to come to the family reunion.
I didn't. But
she didn't want to do anything.
I didn't. But you know what? Her daughter, Lavinia, begged me. I went, to the picnic, and I went to the family dinner, okay? Now,
What'd you have for dinner?
Oh, chicken, pressed beef with gravy, mashed potatoes. They had the works, okay?
Sounds good to me.
But the thing about it is that they asked my daughter to take.
Your Honor.
She volunteered, but my daughter said, oh, let me do it. So I'm going to let my daughter talk to you about
Stand up. What is your name?
Rolanda.
Hi, Rolanda. How are you today?
I am fine.
A lot of drama here today.
It is.
Rolanda, what's your role in all of this?
My aunt was in charge of the family reunion this year. She goes, well, I need a caterer. And I said, well, my business can do it, the place where I work at. So I put her in touch with the person that takes care of the catering orders at my place where I worked. So she got with her, got everything together, put the menu together, what she wanted, and they worked out a price.
So you work out a price. Do you tell Aunt Carolyn?
I stayed out of it because it was a conflict of interest. So if I got involved to set the pricing, set the everything. So I let the head catering person take care of it.
She gave me a price of $12 a plate.
$12 a plate. Is that true?
Correct.
Okay.
I was left in charge to pick up the balance at the family reunion, at the event. Well, after everybody eats, she tells me she doesn't have the money.
I tell her I don't have all the money because everybody did not pay for the family reunion.
Okay. How much is the total amount?
The total amount came to $1,678 because she wanted it delivered. She wanted it set up.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Who says, if it's $12 a plate, who says we need, 120 plates? Who says that?
She set the number. People.
Okay, good. Sit down. Now, Carolyn, why is Marlene so bitter?
She's been bitter all of her life, ever since I was a kid. She never invite my kids to any of her functions.
Oh,
she has
liar.
No, I'm not a liar.
Yes,
you said
you are.
don't tell my kids. Don't tell your kids.
She said, so you don't tell your kids?
Yes, she
Stand up.
has
Who are
told
you?
me.
My name is Christy Long. I'm her youngest daughter.
Hi, Christy.
Hi, how are you
What's
today?
the deal with your mom and Aunt Marlene?
Well, Aunt Marlene has always been mean, angry, and bitter, and we have never been able to figure that out. Why she treat us differently from her kids? She always
Well, 'cause you're
acted
not her
as though
kids.
no,
So
but she
what?
always acted as though her side, her little family, were better than we were because we grew up in
No,
the
I didn't.
household
No,
with
I
the
didn't.
grandparents.
So what happens? Why are you suing her for the money?
The money. When I got home one Saturday, my daughter was. My kids said, "Mama, did Ro call you?" And I said, "No, she didn't call me." I said, "What's going on, kids?" And she said, "Ro got sent home from her job." I said, "For what?" She said, "Cause Aunt Carolyn didn't pay the rest of the bill, the $493." I get on the phone and I call Carolyn. I said, "Carolyn, you owe my daughter $493." I said, "And I want the money between now and Monday, 12
So
o'clock
you got
midnight."
fired? Stand up.
Yes, she did.
They fired you?
Yes, ma'am.
Did they say why they fired you?
They felt that I was trying to get over on the company by not making my family collecting the rest of the money that she owed.
But who entered into the contract with Auntie Carolyn over here?
The company that I work for.
Sit down. Now, how much did you collect?
I collected $1,110 from the family for the family reunion.
But you knew it was going to cost $1,678.
And I let everybody know at the banquet, I told everybody we needed this money to pay Rolanda off for the food. Some of the people, family gave me money and some of them didn't. Me and my
don't
daughter.
feed the ones who aren't paying.
Well, they came anyway. How was I going to turn them away?
Turn them away. Unless they
That's
got
it.
the money, turn
That's
them
it.
away. You got to get tough like this one.
Well, if
Why
that's-
weren't you in charge of the food? Why weren't you in charge? You could have done the food. Then we wouldn't be here today.
No.
Did you pay?
No.
Cause you know the reason why?
Why?
You know the reason why? Cause I knew it wasn't going to be set up right with her in charge.
But your daughter lost her job because the bill
I
wasn't
know,
paid.
but this is all, you
How
know.
could you stand in front of me and not pay the bill
She
that
ended
caused
up-
your daughter to
I
get...
ended up paying the $493 that I don't even owe.
You ended up paying the $493?
Yeah.
Okay,
That
but
I didn't
you
even
didn't put
owe.
any money in to the kitty for the food at the
That's
time.
right.
Why'd you pay the $493?
Because keep my daughter's job.
Did you keep the job?
No. I went, that's
my
the
job.
point. I went to, I went right over there that Saturday when she got, sent home from her job. And I told Rolanda, I said, "Come on, baby, I'm taking you over to the store and I'm going to pay this bill off for you." I said, "You're lucky I got this money." And here's where I paid the bill.
How do you feel about the fact that your sister paid the bill?
I didn't even know she paid the bill. No one called me.
But
we didn't say we wasn't going to pay the money.
Yes, she
But
did.
she
No, we
already,
didn't.
but
Yes,
she
she did.
already lost her job.
Now, when I took Rolanda the last money to the store where me and my daughter had a fish fry to raise the rest of the money, I gave her what I had. I told her
Who did
to
you give? Who did you give
I
the
gave
money
it to Rolanda.
I acknowledge that.
So after the picnic, she then has a fish fry to raise money to pay?
Yes. She paid. She gave me a total of $1,185.
So she's still working to try to pay it off. So
Yeah,
I
but
can't
we're
attribute-
going into the second month.
I got it. Sit down. Thank you very much. What else do you want to say?
And we sold candy. Me and my sister were still selling candy. My sister Eleanor to get the rest of the money for the family. But she never called me.
What
2
is that?
weeks later.
This
What
is
is
a
that?
testament from my sister Eleanor.
Is this the one you sold the candy with?
Yeah,
Yes.
she sold over $1,000 worth of candy. Then she turned around and gave her another $800. Then she turned around and gave her another $100. Then she collected money from everybody in the family that was going to have the family reunion, $50 to $25. Now tell me, where did that money go?
I will show you where the money went.
I don't know.
Now, she should have paid my daughter. She paid everybody. She paid for the hall. She paid for the DJ. She paid for the photographer. Now, how come she couldn't pay my
Now,
daughter?
you know what the hoot is here.
My $493?
No. My sister Carolyn's son told my daughters that they have the money but had no intention of paying for the catering. My family sold $1,000 of candy for the fundraiser. Then I gave her $800 and $100 at the dinner. My sister's daughter, Rolanda, lost her job. Now, that's Elnora. Elnora is saying that she gave you $900 herself.
Right.
But then you've only paid $1,185. How much did you collect at the picnic from 120 people?
I didn't collect very much because many of them didn't pay.
Okay.
Let me tell you, being that I'm so mean and bitter, I'm gonna tell you, when you mess with my kids, and you mess with my money, and you mess with me, I am hot to trot. I want my money. I don't know what she thinks and why she don't think she owe me my money.
I didn't say I didn't owe her the money.
You owe her the money?
We owe the money. The family do, not only me.
Okay, here's the deal. The issue is whether or not the defendant is liable to the plaintiff for breach of contract. The plaintiff says, look, I ended up paying $493, and by the way, I want $11 for a parking fee.
Mm-hmm. Downtown Cincinnati ain't cheap.
No, but you know what? I'll tell you. All right. The plaintiff says I want $493 for the unpaid catering bill that my daughter ultimately lost her job over. And the defendant is saying, look, we collected money, but we were still collecting money and we would have paid it, but we really didn't know about it. Hogwash. Right. You knew about it. You knew about it the day that you signed the contract. Once you took on the responsibility to be in charge of this family reunion and to order X number of dollars of food, you have the responsibility to pay for it. Now, here's the clicker. Okay. You're a smart cookie, but this is where you missed out. You do not have a cause of action against her. You didn't have a contract. The contract was between Carolyn and Rolanda, the agent. You step in because you are who you are, and you say, I want this $493 plus the $11 for parking. All right? This is what I'm going to do. All right? You lost your job because you got into some family drama. I am going to make your mother whole again. You're not entitled to this legally, but as far as I'm concerned, you went into your pocket. And as far as I'm concerned, she should have done more to raise the money. So I'm going to give you the $493. All right? And hopefully it'll give you a shot at getting a job or, stay out of family things. There's too much catfighting going on here. Now, what I'd like you also to do is understand that whenever you take on a responsibility, you are legally responsible. Verdict for the plaintiff, not legally, but in fairness and equity. So
thank you. You should have the family reunion yourself.
Nope, I will not do it.
I think you should.
Well, what you think is a different story, but
Yes.
I'm not going to do it.
At least I take the responsibility.
Well, you go right on and keep on taking that responsibility and see how many people will be right behind you. None.
That's no way to be. You're supposed to help everybody.
Remember, I'm mean and bitter, okay?
You are.
I'm mean and bitter, just
and
like
bitter.
you.